Welcome to another edition of Mulligan Speakers International MSI Showcase. I'm Diane Mulligan, president of Mulligan Speakers International. Each week we invite our speakers to come on and talk about timely topics. This is a way for you, the meeting planner, to get to know more about our speakers and their passions, and also their excellent abilities to integrate current events into their areas of expertise. And today we're talking with Paul Andrew. Hi, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Paul, tell us a little bit about your area of expertise and also a little bit about your passions.
Sure. Well, I moved with my wife and 3 kids up from Australia. I know you can't tell. I don't have an accent or anything. We moved from Sydney to New York about 6 months ago. My background was I had nearly 20 years in the not-for-profit sector, and over those years I really developed a passion for all things leadership, team, and culture. And so today I really love helping organisations develop the sort of place where you have everyone leading.
It's a wonderful area of expertise, and it's so desperately needed right now. In fact, the topic that we're going to be talking about today is called Employees as Ambassadors. This comes from the front page of Advertising Age. In about mid-November, they did an article about really utilizing employees as ambassadors. But really, in this recessionary time, it takes a certain kind of leader to really reinvigorate those employees so that they'll be ambassadors. Do you think that this is worth the effort, Paul?
Well, I do. In fact, I think it's critical. My experience has been that challenging times can bring out both the best and the worst in leaders. And I really believe it's never been more important and probably never been more profitable than it is right now to really engage your team in the brand message as ambassadors. I mean, just this last weekend, saw an article come out to say that if the iPhone product were to split away from the Apple company, it would be the 10th largest company in the world in its own right. And I think you'd probably agree that Apple's really come to epitomize team engagement, brand passion. So for them, it's brought huge growth, and ultimately it's brought profits for them as an organization.
Absolutely. And when you're talking, lots of times you talk about building a movement, not so much a company. Certainly Apple has done that. Could utilizing your employees as part of the marketing chain be part of that movement?
Oh, absolutely. I think, really the hope is that nobody embodies your message and carries the vision, mission, values of the organization better than your own team do. They are your best potential marketers. This is the age of social media, Facebook, Twitter, blogs, peer reviews. So I think it's key for organizations that really take their market positioning seriously to allow their team to be ambassadors and carry the message in the marketplace.
One of the companies that's doing that all the way across the board is Southwest Airlines. And they're actually going so far as to ask their employees to preview their commercials and to get their input. Do you think this is a good idea?
I do, and there's lots of reasons for it, but one key reason is I think the larger an organization gets, the easier it is for the senior leadership to become removed from kind of the grassroots feedback that your team members are often hearing. And so having them speak into your external messaging is a really important check to keep your feet on the ground. But I'd add a caveat because I still believe that leadership should set the direction. So I'm not necessarily advocating leading by opinion poll. I feel like the balance is lead, but listen while you do.
That certainly makes sense. And while they're looking at external communications, certainly it's important to build an internal communications program. And you talk a lot about sticky teams. How important is internal communications to your sticky teams concept?
Sure. When I speak on sticky teams, what I mean by that is how do you build the sort of organization where teams stick together and therefore succeed together and work against turnover and those sorts of things that cost us so much. Communication in an organization is really the foundation of trust, like it is in any relationship. And a lot of times as leaders, we get very focused on our external messaging of the organization. But the reality is, we say all the time, team members are our most valuable asset. But if we don't build frank, open, honest communication, then we don't treat them like that's true. If we build open, honest communication, we build the sort of platform where the team's truly sticky and they can be ambassadors with confidence that the organization has real integrity.
In order to do all of this, what action items would you suggest to your audience?
Right, yeah. What do we do about all this? Well, I'd suggest a couple of things. One is I really believe we've got to create forums where your team members are able to speak to leadership. And by that, I don't mean a suggestion box, not something sort of passive or one way. This is about creating meaningful dialogue. That'd be the first thing. The second thing is after you create that sort of a forum, then you've got to encourage your team members to really own the message. Sometimes we send a mixed signal. We say, be the brand, be our ambassadors in the marketplace, but then we tell people you shouldn't be on Facebook and I don't want you blogging about the business. And the third thing I would say is then do something. It undermines trust in the team when on the one hand we say give us your feedback, but then tomorrow it's business as usual. Really, because they're staying with you hopefully for the long run, team members really want to see that when I give feedback and when I bring suggestions, they're taken at their merit and then the organisation's going to run with them. That's so key.
It is incredibly important. So what would be your take-home message after going through all of this today?
If I was to sum it up, I would really say I feel like the key is to build a leadership culture, not just a leadership structure. That's what it really means for everyone to lead. So what that looks like is engaging your team and equipping them to really carry the message into the marketplace to be brand ambassadors for your organisation.
It's so true. Thank you so much, Paul. It was great talking with you today.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate it, Diane.
Thank you. And please join us next week for another edition of MSI Showcase. I'm Diane Mulligan, president of Mulligan Speakers International, and we look forward to working with you, the meeting planners, to provide transformational speakers and trainers who will really make a lasting impact on your audience. Have a great day.